following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
GloRilla. Real hot girl. Hey, see, turn it. He in love with Glo, never got the cookie, but got my name tatted. Killer work, don't know who he killed, I heard that main ready. Never full, when it's time to eat, I be his main platter. NYC, New York Fashion Week, Tommy Hill jacket. Tell these to stay dangerous, cause now one nut ain't safe. My say he faithful, I still got a fruit, just in case. I can't lie, I used to simp so hard, but them my old ways. It's 365 days in the year, come play with me on none of them days. Freaking don't even wear no condom.
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. You are locked in to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. And, you know, this is the place where pop culture, headlines, and hot takes come with a little edge and a whole lot of insight. I, of course, am Jill Munroe, and tonight, you know Andy's always on theme. We got to get into GloRilla. As she is stepping up into her rap girly starlet moment, she's getting some things that come with the rap girly kit, and her fans aren't as excited about it as she seems to be. So we're going to get into that. We are also going to talk about SZA a little bit. SZA is out here literally saving lives in the drive-thru. So we're going to get into details about that. And it is Wednesday, so you know that means that we are getting all up in the business with Damon Haley. And tonight, we are getting into the OG hot girl, Megan Thee Stallion, and what she's about to do with Walmart. And I have some questions. And we're going to talk about, you know, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Is their beef good for the WNBA? We'll get into all of those details. Now, get comfortable. Grab your snacks and a libation. It's just Wednesday. Grab a beverage. Libation if you feel like it. It's only 6 though. And get ready for your front row seat to the culture because it starts now. So first up, it's May 21st. And you know what that means. We have to give it up for the legendary Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls. Happy birthday. Biggie would have been 53 years old today. We lost him at 25 years old. So time goes fast. We know his mother just passed away last year. And listen, hip hop continues to go on. His imprint is still there. Will you still listen to Biggie music if Diddy gets convicted? Just a question. All right. So next up, we got to get a little conversation starters in the conversation, right? So we know that Chris Brown was arrested last week in the UK. And initially, he was denied bond. But as of today, he was released on $6.7 million bail, right? The incident stems from a February 23 London club incident where he allegedly hit a influencer DJ type producer in the UK in the head with a bottle and stomped him out. Reminder, it's on CCTV. CB took to Instagram, he said, from the cage to the stage, Breezy Bowl. So Breezy Bowl, his tour was scheduled to start June 8th in Europe, and then it makes its way back to the United States, I believe in July. And right now, it is on schedule as part of his bail. He had to surrender his passport, but he will be allowed his passport to travel for the shows while in Europe. Now, no word if he will be allowed to continue the tour in America and where that stands. But right now, he's out. He is in his London residence, and we will see what happens. Shout out to Breezy, man. I don't know. We got to make better decisions, right? Seemed like the tide, maybe for some, was finally starting to turn for him. And here we are back in this interesting place. So, all right. And speaking of, I mean, it's all docket all the time at this point. Legal news dominating the headlines. Big U, he says that he is going to represent himself in his RICO trial. The longtime LA community figure says he's going pro se in the sweeping federal case. His relationship with his attorney reportedly broke down, and so he is without counsel and is going to represent himself. He's facing charges that include laundering, organized crime, misuse of nonprofit funds, etc., etc., etc. So we'll see how this works out for him, if that is a good move, if perhaps someone can help him get some other type of representation. But right now, as it stands, he's going to be the one asking the questions. I don't know about that. You know what they say, the person who has himself for a client has a fool for a lawyer, or something like that. I'm probably jacking it up, but you get the general idea. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready for the hottest entertainment scoop in Los Angeles? She's bringing you exclusive interviews with today's biggest stars, behind-the-scenes Hollywood insights, and all the entertainment news you need to know. She's breaking down what's trending, what's ending, and what's just beginning in the world of entertainment. You're riding with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There'll be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is Resilience in the Face of Chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Love you.
The coolest summer starts at Target with up to 50% off select Sun Squad pool and outdoor toys and 20% off select favorite day treats with Target Circle. Discover inflatable pools and outdoor toys that'll surely make a big splash this season, while you keep it cool and sweet with the most shareable cookies and frozen snacks under the sun. Hurry! Now through Memorial Day, save up to 50% on select Sun Squad toys and 20% on select favorite day treats with Target Circle, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Are you facing an unexpected financial emergency? You need WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com could help you get up to $3,000 fast. WeFixMoney.com is free to use, available 24/7, and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Go to the name you trust, WeFixMoney.com. If you need emergency cash up to $3,000 for bills or anything else, type WeFixMoney.com directly in your browser. That's WeFixMoney.com.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. All right, let's get into these headlines and trending topics. But before we do, of course, if at any point you want to get in on this conversation, 800-920-1580. Of course, we're available on all social media. KBLA 1580. I'm at Stiletto Jill. Hit me up. Say hi. Holla at your girl. The YouTube chat, you know, they're already getting it in over there. I love that. Join us there. And, of course, we have an app. So if you want to take us with you on the go, listen at your leisure, listen again because it was so good, I highly recommend that. Or leave us a voice note. Any of that can be done once you download the KBLA app. So, let's get into these topics. So first up, let's start with one of the most talked about selfies of the week. GloRilla, she hopped on, I'm not sure if it was Instagram or Twitter. I think it was Twitter because where this initially came up was Twitter. Excuse me, X, because X is not Twitter, even though they are the same. So, she had the people doing a double take. Fans started speculating that GloRilla might have gotten a nose job, right? And this isn't the first cosmetic tweak that fans have clocked. She also got some new boobs not too long ago. And her image kind of became more refined when she went on tour with Megan Thee Stallion, better at performance. Oh, I've got some tea on that relationship, maybe later. And, but this time the reaction has been kind of split, right? So Glo clocked all the speculation and she hopped on X and posted and did with an emoji. Basically saying, yep, I got some work done. Here's my thing. I am for people doing whatever they feel they need to do to make themselves feel comfortable with themselves. The thing that is concerning is that there does seem to be a plastic surgery kit with female artists, female rappers at this point in time. Now, we know a lot of them go the BBL route. Boobs have been sort of a thing from young starlets, not really models, but sometimes models, depends on what look is in at the time, for quite a while now. And Glo wouldn't be the first person to play with her face, right? Not the first, not the fifth, not the 275th, right? But, and again, I am pro plastic surgery. I'm not mad at it. I haven't had any, but I would consider it. Do you know what I'm saying? I just haven't. But I do feel some concern because she is relatively young, and no, she doesn't have to live her life for her young fans. But just that this is a part of the coming of age process in the industry is kind of scary at times because I feel like plastic surgery, yes, it is elective surgery, but it is still surgery. And people are so flippant with it at this point, oh, these boobs aren't big enough. I want to go back and get a bigger set. Oh, my BBL, I look too regular. I want to look more like a doll. Give me the doll look, right? And so, once again, rock out. Do whatever you feel makes you happy. But I am concerned that young ladies feel the pressure of the industry, and the only way that they can make it is if they are butt naked with some type of cosmetic procedure. That is concerning to me. I know we can't change much, but if you've seen kind of the trajectory as far as what is happening with our younger girls and things of that nature, I don't know. It's just something to be aware of. Social media has changed how people feel about themselves, how they look at themselves, how they compare themselves. And we know Gen X, we're probably good. There's some outliers, but I'm sure there's pressure there. But when you're in those formative years, when everything has an impact, it just kind of makes you wonder. Andy?
Hold up. Gen X, y'all had y'all issues too.
I know. Of course we did. 100%. I'm not saying
the
we
magazines.
Did. I am talking about right now, though, even with the magazines. Back in the 90s, they did studies. Black women had higher self-confidence than white women. They believed in being curvy and things like that. I think part of it is just that they weren't slotted into the idealization of white women and that waif image. That was something then that, in a lot of ways, the average black woman wasn't, I'm not saying it didn't have an impact, but in some ways didn't aspire to be. I think that the spreading of music videos, things like that, all had an impact. We saw music videos change in hip hop and R&B from brown skinned girls as the lead to then it was only, exoticals, mixed girls, biracial, racially ambiguous. And then there was the plethora of Latinas and white girls or Asian girls. So I think that type of stuff definitely had an impact. So everybody has their things, but I just think now social media is what our TV is, and it never goes off. It never goes off. And people literally have 24 access to you if you allow as such. So I think that it's a little different as far as the feelings. Andy?
I just hope that, she loves herself at the end of the day. You know
right.
what I mean? Because the thing about GloRilla, I remember the criticism when she first came out, right? Outside of just the content of her music, but, there were comments about her looks.
And she got her teeth fixed as well, I believe. Yeah.
And I don't know, for me, I became a fan just once I saw her communicate, you know what I mean? So at that point, looks wasn't even, an issue for me. Not that it ever is, but I just knew that she was winning based off of her personality. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, look, whatever you choose to do to your body, you do it. I just hope that you love yourself at the end of the day, and I hope you're not doing this to appease others.
Facts. GloRilla is 25 years old. If you wanted to know, growth, hypocrisy, or just celebrity evolution, we see a little bit of it with everybody, and everybody takes those, little hits. So next up, we're about to get all up in the business. It's Wednesday. Damon Haley is back. We're about to break down the business behind these headlines. First up, we're talking Megan Thee Stallion. So I mentioned there might be a little tea with her and GloRilla. We saw them blossom in their friendship while they were on tour together. Megan, of course, the headliner, Glo opening. Well, social media, they're on it. They have peeped that the two don't seem to be following each other on social media anymore. Who is the time to check this stuff? Do they just randomly do these checks? But anyway, and some are speculating that it might be deeper than rap because GloRilla posted something with a Tory Lanez song in it. And this is after a day or so, all of the hoopla with Tory saying that, his representative saying basically Kelsey actually was the one that fired the gun, yada, 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 yada. So there may be something there. We don't know. We'll have to see. But it does seem to be a choice to post a Tory Lanez song, even if you really, really like that song at this particular moment. So we'll have to see. At any rate, Megan, unbothered and doing her thing as always, is swimming her way into new retail territory. Hot Girl Swim has launched. And yes, it is hitting Walmart. And I find Walmart's positioning over the past 6 to 8 months to be extremely interesting. Now, we know that they've done away with their DEI initiatives, right? Falling in line with the standards set by President Trump. But I also find it interesting that during the same time period, they have ramped up on their outreach to the Black or urban community. They had the commercial around the holidays with Nia Long and Lorenz Tate, kind of a Love Jones reunion. I think it was a Busta Rhymes song. They had Busta Rhymes in a commercial, some rapper a few months back. And now we're coming out with Megan's swimwear line exclusively at Walmart. So, Damon, let's get into the details of this business deal and your thoughts behind it.
Well, I love it. I think every summer, I think this time last year, Megan was doing the Popeyes with her own sauce and all that kind of stuff. So she does really, really well at seasonal campaigns, because she's going to be out touring. She's going to be doing stuff. So this helps. It is exclusively at Walmart. And I wouldn't be surprised if, she's not a product designer or anything like that. So Walmart probably came and said, we can handle everything. All we need is a media day. Take some pictures, let's shoot a couple commercials, and then you go away and you sell and you get a royalty. I guarantee that's probably part of the business. But is it on brand? Yep. She's living and dying with this hot girl thing. She probably got a couple more summers where she can do it. And I love the way that she is utilizing product, retail, other people's advertising dollars to keep her relevant, because she's going to have merchandising. Her face is going to be, and she's going to be in the product, which is a good look for her, to be in the product. I saw the spot. She has the nice 2-piece for those women that can do that. She has a 1-piece for those women that want to do that. It's in Walmart, so the price point is probably $19.99, $24.99, or maybe $29.99 or something like that.
So it's 18 pieces for the entire collection. Okay. It's size inclusive, so that means something for everybody, which you got to be at Walmart.
Right.
Excuse me. And it is also, she's the first hip-hop artist to launch their own swimwear brand. So they claim, and it officially launched on the 19th.
Yep.
I think, like you, I think it will sell out. I do think it's on brand. I think Walmart, for me, is an interesting choice. Just because I don't usually think flair or flavor in Walmart.
I think it's the demo. So I would venture to say there's some teenagers that are going to...
Oh, I think it's going to sell out.
Right. So it might not do it at Target. The mother of one, a new mother, that kind of appeal. So you think
Walmart's clientele is different from Target?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
I think I'm pretty sure.
For swimwear and stuff like that.
Well,
just
we don't,
because
Target
has
seasonal.
Right.
It's seasonal. So I think that once again, it's teens, it's price point, it's energy, all of that. That Target can do better stuff. They can do lawn furniture at Target and really go around more of a family, more of an upscale buyer, if you will, not a young person, so to speak. So I'm not saying that young, cool, hip folks in cities do Target, but where those Walmarts are is hot. It's pools, it's public pools, it's all of that kind of stuff, and it's a bunch of day parties. That all of that stuff has to do with Megan. So I would say this: a Megan Thee Stallion concert. Who do you think would be? Would it be a Walmart shopper or a Target that would attend the concert?
See, I don't know if she's going on tour this year, though.
No, if she were,
right?
Or who listens to her?
Right. But she doesn't have the benefit of the tour this year, which is I find interesting. Well. I mean, she may not need it. I do think it will do well. Swimwear,
yep.
She has a body. The photos look incredible. The price point, as you mentioned, $16 to $28. It's hard to get a good bathing suit for that price. So, it's going to have the colors that you like and some of the things that are going to give Fashion Nova and Shein a run for their money, especially at this time. So, I do think it is a great idea, but I do find Walmart's slight pivot to be highly interesting.
Yeah, DEI and diversity, equity, inclusion has nothing to do with necessarily making money and advertising, because we always advertised McDonald's and all that, stuff that we used to do, how they used to advertise to us, but they still wouldn't promote us, give us raises, give us bonuses, or let us be in the C-suite. So I see, they're looking at Megan as an opportunity to bring people into the store, to shop for other things in addition to the swimsuits. So, like I said, I just think it's smart.
Okay. Well, do we have time, Andy? So, listen, when we come forward, we're going to take a call. But let me get into some of these chat comments really quickly. Urban Spinster says, hey, Stiletto Jill on DHS. Shout out to you. Pretty Brown Mimi says, happiness is an inside job, but if I'm not opposed to anyone getting a nip or tuck if it's right for them. So, same. Urban Spinster says Walmart is hiking prices, not rolling back, and stating Trump's tariffs as the cause. Well, they are. I mean, listen, 134% or whatever the number is today, I'm not sure, it's moved around, it's different prices for different things, is going to have some impact. That's just facts. Here, internally, we've seen the impact of, not of tariffs, but of shrinkflation, where packages are smaller, but prices remain the same. So you're not paying more. It's a mind trick, but you're not getting the same amount. So we're going through all sorts of things. When we come forward, we'll have more on this topic, more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. News, traffic, and sports is up next.
About 20 missed calls, he faded. White boy wasted, Channing Tatum. He don't want to be kept, don't keep him. He don't want the paper, then don't keep it. I don't get left, I'ma leave him. Love me like Justin Bieber. Go mad, go mad, go mad, go mad, go mad.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Tensions rose as President Trump accused South Africa of genocide against white Afrikaners during a meeting with President Ramaphosa, who says he wants to discuss the issue.
You are a partner of South Africa, and you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about.
Ramaphosa denied the allegations, telling Trump there is a minority party behind the tensions between blacks and whites. Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial is back on in New York City. A Homeland Security agent described the Miami raid, revealing drugs and baby oil. And Chris Brown is out on $6.7 million bail after a London court hearing tied to a 2023 nightclub assault. He was arrested last week but can now move forward with his European tour starting June 8th. His next court date is June 20th. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
It's a crash in West LA, 405 southbound before Wilshire Boulevard. 2 middle lanes are blocked, and that drive is loading up out of the Sepulveda Pass, leaving Getty Center. Beyond the wreck, the drive remains slow ahead as you travel towards the 710 freeway. It's also a tough drive on the 5. This is in Griffith Park, southbound slowing from the 134 all the way to the 605, southbound lanes of the 605. Delays from the 60 all the way to the 5 Norwalk on the 605 northbound. You have a slow drive from the 105 heading back towards the 10. And Chino Hills, southbound side of the 71, tough away from Pine Avenue to the 91 freeway.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Is this the tackle? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The LA Sparks are back in action tonight at Phoenix. Third game for the Sparks in the WNBA regular season. Next home game for the Sparks is Friday night against Golden State at Crypto.com. The WNBA's popularity continues to rise. Saturday's Chicago Sky Indiana Fever game drew an average of 2.7 million viewers on ABC. That's the highest rating for a WNBA regular season game in 25 years. The game also generated the second highest TV rating for a WNBA event in the league's 29-year history. The only event with a higher TV rating was the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, which attracted 3.4 million viewers. Congratulations to University of Houston men's basketball coach Kelvin Sampson, the only African-American coach to reach last season's Final Four. Houston gave Sampson a 4-year extension that would keep him under contract through 2029. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk Talk 1580.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Pasadena City College is proud to support Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr. For over 100 years, PCC has been a pillar of the community, and we're here for you as we work together to recover from the Eaton fire and rebuild Altadena's future. At PCC, we offer diverse career education programs that prepare you for in-demand jobs, fueling both today's recovery and tomorrow's growth. Whether you're starting a new career or advancing your skills, PCC gives you tools to build your future and your community. Pasadena City College, here for the Dena, here for you. Learn more at PCCfordena.com.
If you need to hire, it seems like the whole process can be exhausting. You search resumes, wait for the right candidates to apply, set up initial interviews. It's a lot of time and work. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates for your job the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro is super easy to use. You simply pick a time, and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you can choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Best of all, you save time and energy.
Try Zip Intro for free right now at this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today, talk to qualified candidates tomorrow. Once again, go to ziprecruiter.com/free to try it for free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
First things first, I pop the freaks, all the honeys, dummies, playboy bunnies, those wanting money. Those the ones I like, cause they don't get anything but penetration. Unless it smells like sanitation. Garbage, I turn like doorknobs. Shout out to Biggie, my little impromptu bars. I got my own bars. One day I'll break them out for you. Welcome back in. You are locked into KBLA Talk 1580. Andy.
Quick question for both of y'all.
Go ahead.
Favorite Biggie song of all time?
So
this is mine right here.
I was about to say that might be it because
100%.
that remix was really perfect. But I'm gonna tell you what else I liked. Armed and Dangerous. Ain't too many can bang with us. Straight up the yes.
Fire.
So Notorious Thugs for y'all that don't know. I also really like I Got a Story to Tell.
Fire. Who was the player?
John Stark.
Was it John Starks?
Was it John Starks or was it Charles
Oakley?
Not Charles Oakley. Charles, was it Charles Smith? I think it might have been Charles Smith. It was either John Stark or Charles Smith. I can't remember.
This whole time I thought it was Anthony Mason. That's what I thought it was.
I can't. I know this. I'm not remembering right now, but I do know this. But I got a story to tell. It's fire because, one, the lyrical genius, just as he was spitting that out. Then to run it back and talk the story out just like he's having a conversation in the song, it was amazing. So, shout out to Big, because those are some things. DH?
This is my favorite. Video,
okay.
the whole, the whole vibe.
The video set the standard with the cameos and the Brooklyn Brownstone and all of that. It just was fire. So, happy birthday, Big. Take that. Welcome in, Fahima from DC. Fahima, what's on your mind tonight? Thanks for tapping in.
Well, just very briefly, I respectfully disagree with your guest. I believe that Megan's swimline would have been at Target if it weren't for the current boycott. And, and I know this because, for one, they had dedicated Black-owned and Black-founded designers. This was what they did. In fact, I had owned Target stock, and before the boycott started, when they said they were going to move away from that, that's when I sold my stock. And I do believe that it would have been at Target, which I think is a step higher than a Walmart. But I think in light of all this going on, that's why the swimwear is at Walmart.
Okay. Thank you, Fahima. We appreciate your call always and your input. Next up, we have Eric from Carson on the line. Eric, what's good? How are you this evening?
Hey, Jill. How's it going?
Amazing.
Good. You were speaking about an actress, an artist who had plastic surgery. And I just wanted to comment that, when I watched the movie Girls Trip, I noticed that Vivica's, she wasn't in the movie, but Vivica Fox and Jada Pinkett have had plastic surgery. And Regina Hall and Queen Latifah haven't. And there's something about natural beauty that, even if you just let yourself age, I don't like when people try to make changes. And the most egregious changes have been Peppa from Salt and Pepper and Little Kim, who were beautiful women, and they completely transformed their faces. And so, like Andy said, as long as you're comfortable with why you're doing it for yourself, because I bought a car once, and a week later I had changed my mind. So if I changed my face, I'd be in trouble.
Well, first of all, shout out to that. I mean, natural is always the thing. But how do you know that Regina and Queen haven't had a little pop, little nip, little tweak here and there?
I know because
no,
I
you
can
don't.
tell.
No, I'm telling you, and I'm not saying they have, but what I'm saying is, no, you don't. You don't. There's a lot of people that you may think have not had anything done or not had a reason to, that may have had a little lipo, a little suck it out here because it's a little bit of overhang, and that little half an inch of overhang makes a difference for an actress that is on screen. This one right here, her profile may not be in line to the way that she wants it, so she gets some little injections done, some fillers, so that tightens up and gives you the angle of youth. You don't know. You know the more obvious and more egregious ones, but you don't know. There's little nips and tucks that happen all the time. These doctors are paid great money and do great work.
I have met my match with you. I can't debate with you. I normally can win with people, but you always got a quick comeback.
I mean, I do. Thanks for tapping in, Eric. We appreciate you as always. Call back tomorrow. We love it. All right, DH. Really quick, we have seen the explosion of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. We talked about it. We talked about the comments. But let's talk about this from a business perspective. Does this damage or enhance either of their brands, and by extension, the WNBA. Because I was saying the other night that this rivalry, these little tiffs, though irritating, really aren't a bad thing, in my opinion, for the league.
No, I think it's good. It's fiery. We saw it. We see it every now and then when there's heavy competition, and I think it's healthy. There are comparisons to Bird and Magic and all that kind of stuff, but it's healthy. And if you think in my opinion, Caitlin's foul wasn't that bad. Of course, the butt whooping they got was worse than the foul, and I think that's why Angel Reese was a little taken back. But the audience, the crowd, and the racial epithets and things like that, we just have to get better at that. The on-court stuff is cool. We want to see women fighting just like the guys.
Yeah.
We want to see the competition, and it's good because it's content. And that's what we want out of them every time, because next time that they play, more
Views
eyes
are
on
be
them.
even higher.
More eyes on them, all of that. So that kind of stuff helps the game. But from what I understand, it was a lot of audience that the crowd took it to a place where it shouldn't go, because these ladies been knowing each other for 3-4 years. And
Right.
if you in the circuit, you know great players. There's some 15-year-olds that know who the other 15-year-olds. It's Memorial Day weekend. It's tons of youth tournaments. And in 6 years from now, those same people are going to be competing college, pro, etc. So they know each other. Don't like each other. That's what they competitively don't like each other. But I think it's the crowd we have to control and the whole racial thing, because it ain't like that for them. It
Right.
happens to be one woman is white, the other woman is black, and then everybody white and black creates the racial stuff. But it's not the WNBA, it's not the game, it's not them.
Andy?
My question for you, Brother Damon, is do you think that Angel was kind of egging it on? She already stated she doesn't mind being the villain in this situation. But, shout out to all the cameras, because a lot of people you didn't see the clip of Angel Reese actually pushing Caitlin Clark's teammate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, simple basketball play, Caitlin Clark. You don't want to give anybody an easy bucket. You know what I mean? So you're going to foul pretty hard. Do you think that Angel might have embellished maybe her reaction to the foul because she knew who it was and she knew that, it was going to gain traction media-wise?
Yeah, I don't think she was thinking about the media, but she was thinking about, let me overreact, because she's a big girl. And Caitlin can't, 9 times out of 10, Caitlin ain't going to knock her to the ground like that, even trying. So, but was Angel aggressive? Yep. Was she aggressive at LSU? Yep. Is she, in general, an aggressive person? An aggressive player, I should say? Yep. So is it going to be funky every time they meet? Yep. And so I think that Angel plays it up. I think Caitlin plays it up, and we love it. That's what we do. That's what athletes do. That's what you do, to market the game and make it spicy.
We need heroes and villains. When we come forward, we're going to get into more trending topics and headlines. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I feel so alone. I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like being inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. We have a caller on the line, Mimi from Jacksonville. Welcome in, Mimi. How are you this evening?
Hi, Jill. Hi, Damon.
Hello.
I just want to say, as far as this whole WNBA thing goes, I respect that Caitlin Clark is the star of the WNBA. I really do. But I don't like this narrative that basically, I guess, started when they were in college. Angel is the villain. Caitlin is the angel. And it has become very, very racial, and it's growing. And then you have this guy, that guy
RG3.
On the video, yes, with his wife sitting in the chair looking at him like this is a hostage video. And it's like, what are you doing? This is crazy. This is everything he said was so anti-black woman, and he has a history of doing that. I think that will give other people the emboldenedness, if that's a word, embolden people to just, piggyback on what he's feeling. And it just spreads throughout the WNBA.
I mean, I think you make some good points, but I think that just by nature of it being a black woman and a white woman, it's not like Caitlin is the prototypical delicate flower or whatever. This is basketball. It's hoops, right? So I do understand your position. And I do think, obviously, Angel is receiving some things as what happens to us, whatever, punishment, abuse, foul words are dished out. It's usually going to be tougher on the black individual in the situation. I bet you if we talk to Magic, as beloved as Magic was back in the day, talk about some of the stuff that he heard rolling up into Boston, rolling up into Philly back in the day, and I'm sure it's no different. So I think on one hand, the game is the game, and you're going to have to accept a little bit of roughness because that's what it is. But I, as far as RG3 goes, I said this the other night. I do not believe that he has black women around his circle, so I don't think that he can pick up on the microaggressions, on some of the, passive aggressiveness that comes to black women in commentary and things where, Caitlin might have just been passionate, Angel is aggressive. Those little subtle differences. So I think that there are things like that, fair, but I think that that is something that you are going to see across sport, no matter if we're talking men or women. And I understand naturally for women, we want people to be a little bit more delicate, but we also can't say, respect this game, we play hard, we do what we do as we do it, and then want to be treated as special snowflakes. And I'm not saying that's what Angel is asking. She has been receiving beyond the thing. But I also can't say that we have to sort of say, no critique at all or nobody's going to say anything. We saw Russell Westbrook almost KO a fan for speaking disrespectfully to him. So I think that is just unfortunately a part of the sports environment. And the league has to do a better job as far as within the arenas of making sure that the fans' disrespect doesn't get too close. But I think that it's part of it. And the competitiveness, the heroes and villains, and who the hero and who the villain is depends on who your team is, which side you're rolling with, and other outside factors. I think that it's all just going to enhance the game. It's up 146% as far as viewing this year.
Yeah, I still think they're babying Caitlyn though, but I love the game. I just think it's hard as a black woman looking and you see it and it's like, just stop the racist stuff. Just stop the racial narrative in the media. Stephen A. Smith.
But let me ask you this, because I think it's hard, because if you stop the racist stuff per se, right, and you don't have those conversations, then I think you're ignoring a lot of what Angel is fighting through. I think you're not being fair in some regards to her and what she has to play through, right? And if you take it out of the mix, then it's almost not acknowledging that it is a part of it. So I don't know how you can adequately do that, but at the same time, it's a component of everything. We just saw in the election, the highest, house in the land, a lot of people did not want to vote for a certain candidate because of what they believed or didn't believe her ethnicity was. So,
and we're all paying the price. Thank you, everyone.
Amen. Thank you, Mimi.
All right, thank you.
DH?
Well, I would say a couple things. One is the star, black, white, red, yellow, green, is always going to be babied. And so that's the first thing, because if you talk to the Detroit Pistons back in the day, they babied MJ.
How many times they talk about LeBron?
And so the star is always going to be babied. It just happens to be that this star in this league is a white female, and whenever that happens and she's different, there's some racial stuff happening. Secondly, we can't hold media to a high expectation even if they have black skin, because that's the expectation.
All skin folk ain't kin folk. And sometimes a disagreeing opinion, I'm not talking about RG3 because I don't agree with him either, doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not your sister or your brother as well.
Yeah, I think RG3, every couple years his quote unquote blackness is challenged in a way, and his commitment to, I guess, black folks or fairness every couple years. And so he just might be desensitized or be indifferent, to black issues.
Facts. Yeah. Andy?
Despite the racism, the narratives, I'm just curious to know. I'm not in Caitlin Clark's pockets. I'm not in Angel Reese's pockets. But it seems to me that Angel Reese is definitely monetized after this. From a podcast, the whole McDonald's situation. I don't see none of
Reebok.
that. I didn't even know about the Reebok.
But I
Clark
think
ain't getting none of that
right,
stuff.
but I think the difference between the two of them is if you just listen to opinions outside, one is solely focused on making the biggest stand in the W first and then expanding out to other things. And one is maximizing all opportunities full throttle from the start. So I think it might just be a difference of approach. Really? Oh, go ahead, Andy.
No, I was just going to say, she's capitalizing. She's making money off of this situation, too.
Facts. Really quick, SZA, she's really that girl. She was grabbing food at In-N-Out. The Grand National Tour is here in Los Angeles right now. And she convinced a young fan to throw out their Nitrous Oxide cartridge. That's Whippets, in exchange for a picture and a video. And your fave is out here doing harm reduction services in the drive-thru. So shout out to SZA. Previously, she tweeted about Galaxy gas being marketed to teens, especially in the black communities. Health experts have warned nitrous oxide abuse can cause B12 deficiency, nerve damage, and partial paralysis. So shout out to SZA. DH, do you have anything you want to add to close us up for the night?
No, I'm excited about tonight and Friday and Saturday. You know,
we're saying go Knicks. We are trying to get the Knicks to the final. Justice for Latrell Sprewell, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, all of them. You know, all of the past Knicks. Did Larry Johnson play for the Knicks for a minute? Larry Johnson. Allen Houston, all of them.
Ward.
Charlie Ward. You know what I'm saying? No, did Charlie, that's the one, the two-piece Kobe, right? No.
Oh, no, that was
Chris Childs. Okay, I knew it was one of the
Venice Beach Chris Childs.
Venice Beach Chris Childs. You know, I still got a problem with Chris Childs because of that. But, you know, justice for the Knicks. Bring it home, Knicks. You know, just so that you guys can have something to talk about, too. We want to see Tim Boots on the Empire State Building or something.
There you go.
I just want to see him make it to the finals. You can find Damon Haley everywhere on social media at Damon Haley. Don't forget Slay Hair, 3 Wides, Glow and Flow Beauty, Inglewood, and Hawthorne. I'm Jill Munroe, here every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. for the culture. Up next is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
I got that good love, girl, you didn't know. I got that good love, girl, you didn't know. Sick of that song on how it's so long. Thought he worked his until I handled my biz. There I is, major pain like Damon Wayans. Low down dirty even like his...
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. President Trump confronted South Africa's President Ramaphosa at the White House, claiming genocide against white Afrikaners and playing video clips as